top, Jeskai Blink. You see that Team Handshake hoodie repping the team. On the bottom, you got Andrew playing Is It Infinity. Ready to rock and roll. Huge match here. And then Andrew on the play. That's a huge deal.
Yeah, it really is. Let's see, what Andrew has here for the turn 1 play. If it's just Spellbomb, that's a little sad. You don't see, okay.
All right, now we're coming.
This is not sad. Mock Opal being turned on for turn number 1 is really, really nice. And still no Kappa or anything yet, but we're ready to go pretty soon. I see Rebuke, I think Thoughtcast and Kappa, so.
Yeah, the ability to have turn 1 Rebuke up on the play is pretty cool.
It is really cool.
All right, so back Jesse's way. Jesse's deck is very, very powerful, but it is kind of, mid-rangey and plotting. Just take a little bit time to kind of get the ball rolling. So,
yep. And I will say, out of all our players here in that top 13 that we were kind of talking about, this is our most established player. He's one of the most established players going into the event. Team Handshake, one of the best teams here, really doing it. I would say his team and the team that you're on, Team TCG, have been kind of the most dominant team over the last couple of years on the pro circuit.
All right, so we got a Thoughtcast here for 2 mana, which is double 1 mana.
Yes.
So a little less efficient than you might like here. And
but hey, you need the land, so.
Yeah, it's Andrew. I see an Urza Saga there on the window, so Urza Saga's ready to go.
I think I saw Pithing Needle as well.
Saga going to be a pretty important card as far as kind of grinding through the removal spells if the game does go long.
Yep. So as far as Pithing Needle things to name here, you can name Teferi.
Man, just missed that Flooded Strand.
Yeah. Actually, I named it before you sacked your Flooded Strand.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah. No, I mean, outside of that, it's the 2 Teferis. Otherwise, you just blind name a fetch land. And since you just had Flooded Strand go to the yard, your 2 names are either Teferi or Arid Mesa.
All right, we'll get confirmation on what that name is. And honestly, there's a big desire for this Affinity deck to have junk in play. Just random artifacts, up that artifact count. So even though Needle doesn't look particularly impressive here, it's still almost like a mana rock for Kappa Cannoneer, Improvise, Affinity, and so on.
Yeah, and we see an interesting choice there from Andrew. We have a Bobble in play and decided not to play it. All right. I love that. Honestly, Teferi's not even a good card against you, so I absolutely love that. That could win you the game. If Jesse just has 2 Arid Mesas and didn't think about a turn 2 Pithing Needle to play around, that could really get him. It probably won't, but...
Yeah, very, very low opportunity cost for a very high potential payoff.
Exactly. Andrew did have Bobble, Rebuke, and Kappa in hand, so... Really, really nice play. If Andrew's able to top deck a land or a 0-drop, I think you're able to have Kappa plus Rebuke available, and that seems incredible.
All right, so Saga goes up. Got to work it through. Jesse has interaction and stuff, but again, it's a little, Spell Snare here, Prismatic Ending there. It's not a ton. There's no, Shatterstorm-esque Wrath of the Skies big-time mop-up here.
Yeah. Ooh, I think that was an EE. So if that's the case, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with the EE, and then Kappa is an artifact where you can turn that sideways for Rebuke. So I think we are able to have Kappa this turn with a Rebuke, but with a Rebuke once it's in play, for what it's worth.
And make sure you don't tap that Arid Mesa token for Improvise here. So tapping 4 artifacts and 2 lands.
I think I would have liked to tap that Memnite. That's one way to interact with a Rebuke, is Jesse is like, okay, you could have a Rebuke if I just kill the Memnite, or, blink it out with Philia or something, then you could play and resolve a spell. It's minor, but...
Yeah, you can't attack here into possible Philia.
Yeah.
So Philia, of course, very, very powerful card. It's also just a flash 2/2. It can rumble into combat and block as necessary. So we're going to see a basic Plains. That does speak to possibly having the good doggo. Me and Corey in the booth, bringing all the action here at the Regional Championship. Here comes Philia, good doggo.
The best dog.
And this is where things can go wild for Jesse's deck.
Yeah.
This repeatable blink chain.
Now, as far as toys for Philia to chew on, Kappa is not an easy bone to devour, let's say. The Ward 4 really shuts that down. So, all the tricks that Philia can do are negated for this turn. Now, Jesse is not cold to this Kappa. Next turn, if Jesse can play a land this turn, play a land next turn, Solitude, pay ward 4, that's what we're looking for. But this Spellbomb in play is actually kind of insulating it a bit. And man, Andrew just got so unlucky. Named Arid Mesa, Flooded Strand, and Scalding Tarn get cracked. I mean, come on, never lucky.
I don't wish Jesse any ill will, but I kind of hope there's 2 Arid Mesas in his hand.
Yeah. Oh, too funny.
All right, well, there is Teferi.
Okay.
That could have been the name, but we're going to see that Rebuke come down, because if it doesn't come down now, it's not coming down at all.
Yep.
But that does tap Cannoneer.
So the good dog can come in, but, you know, what is it doing here? It's blinking out something, and that doesn't really do anything. It's actually a net negative for Jesse if Jesse targets anything of Andrew, because it'll grill the Kappa.
All right, yep. Okay, so looks like we're going back Andrew's way. Jesse thinking it through.
This is a tough spot here for Jesse. I don't really know how he gets out of this, because normally the thing to do is that Solitude play. Solitude pay ward, but if Jesse or Andrew gets to connect here for minimum 6, because we got Saga that's going to put an artifact into play, and then you have the Spellbomb to bounce it after the ward gets paid, you can still replay it, and we do see the Solitude there and an Arid Mesa from Jesse. Amazing.
Always a little, friendly competition between teams. We see the Handshake is kind of like the rival team to the TCG team.
Yeah.
So now I'm back at the Pro Tour, I can care again. So
yeah, now you got to really you got to scout these other teams, huh?
Yeah.
Congrats, by the way, making it back to the Pro Tour. You did that 2 weekends ago?
Yep, Atlanta. Thank you.
Impressive.
All right, so we're going to see tap, make a Saga token. There's a construct, and things getting a little out of hand here on Andrew's side. We're doing a count. It's a lot.
Yeah, big.
Yeah.
Now, the count may be to be, hey, do we got the boots? I mean, Lava Spore Birds is one of the sickest cards to be able to play here, and it looks like we wouldn't have another land available, because if you would, boots up that construct, you almost assuredly force the chump block from the good dog.
All right, so second Mox Opal, Legend Rule untaps it. A little more mana boost. Another counter on Kappa Cannoneer. This is now a 7/7. Ward 4.
Yeah, no drum or anything in the deck. I guess that would have been better, so you have blue and you get to keep your opal, but...
All right, take a look at the bauble. That's a peek. And now, where are we going? Going to combat. 7
to
damage.
face.
That is half Jesse's life total. All right.
So the one thing here is this construct is not great, because the dog can clean up the construct, and the Solitude here, I saw an Arena of Glory, so Jesse has land 4 to pay the 4 ward. This is actually looking okay for Jesse, because Jesse can wait until upkeep and tax the mana of Andrew a little bit here. Solitude pay 4 on the ward, then Andrew can bounce it, recast it. But the good dog also can kill the construct here with no repercussions. You're not getting a block with 2 Mem Knights to kill the dog or anything. So Jesse's able to deal with the 2 threats right now, which is huge.
Thoughts on spellbombing just the dog before combat?
If you recognize that Solitude is the only way out of this, definitely reasonable.
All right, so both players thinking it through. Currently, Jesse's in the squeeze. Right now he's really got to figure out how to get out of a situation. Andrew fully in the driver's seat, but there's a lot of power in Jesse's deck and able to kind of swing its tides very quickly.
Yep.
All right.
You're right.
Going to go to combat. Going to spellbomb that doggo back to hand.
So now the door is open for Solitude, pay the 4 ward, deal with Kappa, and then we do an artifact count. We have a 5/5 construct, so if Andrew can produce 2 artifacts, the game's over, pending second Solitude from Jesse.
All right, doggo back in hand.
If that was the white card we needed for Solitude,
that would be pretty funny.
That would be pretty funny.
All right, so there are a lot of lethal things happening on Andrew's side. Like you said, it doesn't take much to get this construct all the way up to 7.
Yeah.
And then the Kappa is already there, so...
Because Andrew did draw a card off the bauble, too, so has some fresh ones.
All right, just thinking it through. A lot of pressure here.
But I mean, if there's only one artifact, a hasty Philia, for instance, deals with the construct right away. But actually, now that I say it, we only need one artifact because we have the Memnite attacking as well.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
It's mostly been hiding down there as a piece of junk.
Yes.
It is still a creature.
Yeah, it sure is.
Memnites are people, too. All right, so tap 2, tap 3.
I mean, are they? They look like robots.
Do something.
Wow.
All right. Flage. Targeting the construct.
And ephemerating it, I guess, huh?
All right, so going to use the Flage and the Ephemerate both as lightning helixes.
Okay.
Construct down, 6 life gained. Not too shabby.
Spicy little line here because, well, now Kappa is 7, Memnite's 8. We should be at, what, 13, right?
Yes.
Okay, that does seem safer than just killing Kappa, dying to one artifact. So much better line from Jesse there.
No surprise that he's currently an active Pro Tour player. I guess I'm back on, but whatever. We're both washed.
yeah. No, you're not washed anymore. You're now a pro.
All right, so there's an island from Andrew. And like I said, it's on Jesse to kind of like get out of these squeezes.
Oh, the squeeze is getting tighter.
This is getting out of hand. Now there's 2 of them.
King Kappa. All right, just pay 8, Jesse, and double Solitude him. No problem.
And Tormod's Crypt too. That's actually relevant as an artifact, but also with Flage in the graveyard and the arena in play. Very relevant too.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. Well, all those lines that we were thinking are going to make this game close, I think the door is just completely shut now. What can Jesse possibly do? And honestly, though, I would do the math on Flage. Like, does that even do anything? Hit me for 12, you gain 6.
There's no reason to pop it until like the card goes to, like in any card that would go to the graveyard would give a priority window to Crypt and Response.
I mean, it might have been 6 cards already in there, but even so,
yeah,
whatever. I don't think that's enough. So I think the Crypt is maybe not needed.
All right, so Ephemerate rebounds with nothing to target, goes to exile. Jesse now at 6, nope, 4. All right. And those Kappas are large.
And now, Jesse might be in the situation like, okay, I'm dead to an artifact because it'll be unblockable. Maybe I can just double chump them or something, but that's not how you win the game.
Yeah, without any sort of like Wrath or Sweeper, the nickel and diming card advantage kind of grindy engine here needs time to get going, and it's not currently going.
Yeah, and there's just no sweepers in the deck that can deal with Kappa. I mean, there's Wrath of the Skies, but let's get real, that's not really a way to deal with this.
All right, so Warper Riddler, looking for an answer.
It's been a great card, but it's not that good. That's for sure.
So pretty awesome draw from Andrew. Takes down game 1. This is a high-pressure match.
Yes.
This is a potential win and in against, one of the best players in the entire tournament. Andrew takes down game number 1.
I've seen a lot of Andrew around, though, too. He might not be the big name that Jesse is, but he definitely knows his stuff. And you can just tell by body language if you're playing against a good player in this kind of moment. And Andrew looks very calm, cool, collected. Just another match.
Sounds good. All right, so on Jesse's side, we got 1 Celestial Purge, 1 Force Mitigation, 3 Mystical Dispute, 4 Obsidian Charmaw, 1 Subtlety, 2 Surgical Extraction, and 3 Wrath of the Skies.
So I like Wrath of the Skies. I like the Disputes. Disputes counter a lot of things here in the deck. Yeah, especially being on the play, you can counter a turn 1 Kappa even if that was the actually going to happen. Subtlety is also pretty nice. One of the other clean ways to deal with Kappa. Basically, I think Jesse's deck is advantaged in this matchup if you took Kappa Cannoneer out of Andrew's deck, which, I mean, it's the payoff, so that's never going to happen. But
so you're saying board and Surgical Extraction?
No, I am not saying that at all. But I'm saying Jesse needs to do anything he can to answer Kappa because that's where he's weak.
All right, and then on Andrew's side, we see 2 Ashiok Dream Render, 2 Blood Moon, 3 Consigned Memory, 2 Force Negation, 2 Galvanic Blast, awesome.
Yes.
1 Mystical Dispute, 1 Vandal Blast, 1 Void Mirror, and 1 Whip Flare.
I don't really like many of these cards. I mean, maybe you could bring in Consign to back up your own Kappas, consign your opponent's Solitude trigger, stuff like that. So that could easily come in. Most of the time we see Consign against the Eldrazi decks, but if you're ever going to bring it in against a value deck, in this matchup is kind of where you would want it, a Solitude deck. So I could see maybe bringing in that, but and possibly disputes to fight a counterspore, the one dispute here. But the thing about Affinity is you cannot change your deck too much because then you really take away from the core of what you're doing. So when Affinity sideboards, it like has 2 or 3 cards that's coming in, and it doesn't go crazy because otherwise you're turning yourself into just a bad Is-It control deck where you need to still be this Is-It Affinity deck that has a bunch of 0-mana artifacts and stuff like that.
Yeah, it's amusing because most of the artifact sideboard cards they could be in the sideboard or in the main deck. Tormod's Crypt, Pithing Needle. Because of that. So definitely agree on that. I think that you only have so many non-artifact slots, and they are certainly at a premium. So these players are going to sideboard, of course, open deck lists. They have a full look at all these cards, a lot to work through in a very, very big match. But for the moment, Corey.
Yeah.
Viva Las Vegas.
Woohoo!
What's going on in Las Vegas next month? Yeah, what month is it? I don't know what day it is.
Yeah, I don't know. Time's an illusion here. But regardless, Vegas is going to be awesome. We're going to be there. We're going to be in the booth together once again having a blast. So we would love for you to come out and join us. And if you're not qualified for this regional championship, but you've been watching Modern all weekend and you're like, dang, that looks like fun. Well, Vegas is also pretty fun, so you can go there, enjoy Vegas with your friends. You can come in and LCQ into this regional championship. And let's say you got a pulse on this Modern metagame, and you're like, you know what? All these players are playing X, Y, and Z. If I brought this deck, I could really, really win this tournament, and I could really put my money where my mouth is. Well, show up. Let's see it. Let's see you in this event. Come on, qualify. It's November 21st through the 23rd. Hashtag SCG Vegas if you are interested in checking out all the updates on this, as well as StarCityGames.com/SCGCon to sign up for some events. I'm going to be in that mystery sealed booster event on Friday once again. I'll tell you that.
It's a pretty good event to LCQ for, too, because if things go wrong, you don't make it in. There are a bunch of good Magic events to play, too, but you're also just in Vegas.
Yeah.
There's some stuff to do in Vegas.
Absolutely.
One or two activities you could do, shows to see, and so on and so forth. So, great stuff. So, I want to go to the Sphere, actually.
I do, too.
I've not been in the Sphere yet.
I know. I checked while we're there, and it's all Wizards of Oz, like, showings of the movie so far. I want to see a concert there. I want to go for the first time and see some music there. So maybe something will get added as we go.
Hopefully, yeah. It was right outside my window last time I was in Vegas, and it was like, that thing is ridiculous.
Yes,
and
yes.
My son was like 1.5. He was like, wow. What is that?
Yeah. So, we're going to take a live look in here, but every time I go down there for the Pro Tour, too, the hotel that we're always at is right outside of the Sphere as well. So, I always wake up to that, yellow blob staring in my window. It's like, it's kind of scary. So, while these players get ready to go, we'll do a live look in here. We won't do a live look in. They're good to go.
They're efficient.
Yeah. Quick judge call.
Get things all ready to rock and roll. All right. So, might have a mulligan here from Jesse. Looks like Andrew's good to go. I think that this is a matchup where opening hands in the first 2 turns are really, really important.
Yes. And I will say, Is-It Affinity does not mulligan very well. So, keeping an opening hand is very important for him. Jesse Hampton, sometimes it's an advantage. Mulligan, your Quantum Riddlers draw 2 even faster.
Yeah, you should just naturally mull to 3 every time.
Okay, let's not do that. But
I mean, if you can guarantee that turn 2 Riddler draws 2 cards.
I think you would have to go lower than that to guarantee it, though.
Why doesn't Affinity play Quantum Riddler?
That's a good point.
Dump all your zeros, have an empty hand, draw 2.
Hey, I mean, it does kind of seem like Thoughtcast is kind of an afterthought. If you got some Quantum Riddlers, I don't honestly think that sounds bad at all.
Yeah, maybe I'll just skip doing commentary in Vegas, and I'll just grind in with my new Riddler Affinity deck.
Yeah, okay, give it a shot, buddy.
Sounds good.
We'll be here when you when you learn some harsh lessons, okay?
All right. Breaking the format, live on the broadcast, round 14, regional championship.
Don't give away that hot tech to everyone, man, I mean,
it's off the dome. It just came out. All right, Scalding turn for Jesse. Let's get things started. And again, this is the turn for Andrew. Turn 1, the most important turn in this deck. Land go. All righty then.
Exciting.
All right.
That's the thing is that doesn't really say, hey, my draw is extremely slow. It just says, hey, I can't do anything busted on turn 1. I don't have 2 0-mana artifacts to turn on Metallic Rebuke or whatever. So he could have some 0 drops ready to go. They're just not needed to be played right away.
All right, well, that gives Jesse time, which Jesse desperately needs in a matchup like this. Thundering Falls, going to go for a little surveil.
I did see weapons manufacturing in hand from Andrew, so playing that on two and starting to get those, what are they called?
Munitions.
Munition tokens into play. And then, hey, if those are the sagas that he has in hand, can find Claws of Gix, Modern All-Star, you can start paying 1 mana to shock and gain a life. Woo!
I played Claws of Dix in Standard 20 years ago with hatching plans. You know,
I did too.
Yeah?
Oh,
All right,
I love
dude.
that deck. Yeah.
Awesome.
My brother won regionals with it, and I lost in the top 8. But we loved that deck. It was so fun.
We got hatching plans on the screen here.
Yeah, let's see. That's got to still be modern legal, right?
Yeah, sure.
All right. What is it? You'd sack it and draw 3, right?
Yep. Two mana enchantment, sack, draw 3.
Broken.
All right. So you see, it looks like our Wrath of the Skies went to the bin. Here's the Riddler.
That's hatching plans in 2025.
Riddler, I asked for hatching plans.
Yeah, come on.
What are we doing here?
That's hatching plans at home.
All right. So into the warp zone, the cat warp zone.
I like it.
Okay. And that's a cat. All right, this is the turn. Now, Jesse also is tapped out here, so no spell snares, anything like that. So now it's time to put a whole bunch of stuff in play.
I would think so. So there are force negations. There's one force negation from Jesse's side that can interact with this. If not, here comes the munitions.
All right, so munitions is an enchantment where you play a non-token artifact, you get a token artifact. It's called the munitions. Doesn't actually do anything, but when it dies, you shock. And of course, Affinity's a deck that wants to put a lot of junk in play, and this is a junk machine.
I agree with everything you said, except it's not an enchantment, it's an artifact.
What?
You said it creates enchantments.
It is an enchantment. What I don't know what I said.
Yeah, all right. You know what? Never mind.
Hatching plans, right?
Let's get back to hatching plans, okay? The real 2-mana enchantment, okay?
All right, so, but once again, we see a pretty tame turn. Just an explosives with 1 munitions.
Yeah.
The Saga is going here. Saga is good in those kind of like, longer, more removal-heavy games. But those games favor Jesse.
Yeah, and I mean, even if Andrew just goes land, so I think Jesse does have a consign. It would have been interesting to...
oh, no.
Yeah, but it's actually not going to work if Jesse goes for this. This would kind of be a nightmare because Andrew does have the Mox Opal to punish him there.
Wow.
So looks like Jesse had the heads-up play of letting that resolve. We don't know what's being said between players. It could still be on the stack.
It feels like it's on the stack. That would be incredible, yeah, to go for that. Because trying to deny this Urza Saga from making a token here is a huge payoff.
Because it wouldn't just deny 1 token. It would deny 2. So it's very tempting and juicy from Jesse.
And there it is. All right. Consigning the mana ability trigger on the Urza Saga number 2. Now it no longer taps for mana.
Yeah, it will still have a counter on it. That's probably what they're asking. Like, does it,
Right.
I mean, this is an interaction that's kind of weird, but it will result in, yes, it has a counter. It'll never add mana,
Right.
and next turn it will just be a construct-making machine, and Chapter 3, it'll still do Chapter 3 things.
Now, of course, this turns off the Saga, but for the Mox Opal in hand. So,
Exactly.
So Jesse's going to need a little more than this. If this did turn off the construct, it would be a huge swing. But
Yeah, you're skipping Chapter 1 of this book. Not the best way to read, just in general. You should probably start by reading the first chapter, but whatever.
Chapter 2 is usually more interesting anyway. There's Mox Opal. Here's the munitions. It's funny. If I didn't know Jesse, I would think he was a little upset about this, but he just usually looks like that. Very, very serious player. Always has that stone face on.
Yeah, if he just drew 6 cards with Quantum Riddler, that's exactly what he would look like as well.
All right, so Mox Opal's in play. Saga's now activatable, and
Wow, I'm just surprised we're tapping that to not make a construct.
the boots.
Wow.
I'm a little stunned.
I'm stunned as well. There's probably a different play here ready to go, but I want to make a bajillion construct there all day.
All right,
Make
well,
Jesse deal with it.
We see a Kappa in hand.
That's also pretty good.
Saga getting Claws of Gix now. When you pile all these munitions up, that's a lot of damage. So
Yeah.
we're seeing huge pile of munitions.
So, and here's a fun story from the Pro Tour is there was a feature match with Johnny Gutman and Shuhei Nakamura, and Shuhei ended up winning, basically doing exactly this. Had a bunch of munitions, and he had Wrath of the Skies, he had Pest Control, but he's like, if I do that, I take 10 or whatever. So he was just sitting at the table like, how am I supposed to beat this deck? And I just walked up to him, and he's just head in hand, and it's just like, Shuei's deck's insane. How do I beat this? And that's kind of the spot. You think, like, what's the best thing that Jesse can do? And it would be Wrath of the Skies, but if he does that, he's taking a bajillion.
Yeah, and honestly, pretty heads up. You know, one construct is beatable with Solitude or whatever else, but this is a clear understanding of the matchup and knowing, okay, I'm just going to build towards this game state because this is the game state that I win in.
Yes, and now this Kappa is going to get a counter, get 2 counters, counts itself, and now we strap the boots onto it, and now it has Ward 5, Jim. Well, that's not true.
Ward 4
and Ward 1.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's keep it straight here in the booth, Corey.
Okay, sorry.
Do not confuse our viewers.
Sorry. Let's get back to hatching plans.
All right, so Jesse's in a world of hurt here.
Yeah, I mean, how do you beat this? How on earth do you beat this?
All right. And I was so happy with the idea. Let's make Construct, let's just grind it out, and this looks so much better.
I will never question you again, Andrew. This looks infinitely better than one Construct, which Jesse can interact with, versus a Kappa, which, how on earth with Ward 5 are you going to beat this? Because next turn, the Closet Gix is going to be good enough. Making a Construct off a Saga and giving it haste with the boots is going to be good enough. There's lethal coming in from so many different angles here.
Yeah, really, really well played. Also, the discipline to hold that Mox. You know, could have played it the prior turn, got more junk, whatever, but hold that, expose the Saga's ability to a consign.
Yep.
Really great stuff.
And now the winner of this, you know, like you were saying, not necessarily 100% locked, but it's looking good. There's going to be about 6 players with X and 2 or better. They'll be hoping for that handshake to be able to get in.
You can see the Oracle text on Claws of Gix.
Yep. Yeah. Jesse's well aware.
All right. So, taking a look. Let's read that card. Yep.
He's like, I can't beat Closet Gix. I can't beat Kappa. I think this is going to be Jesse having to win next round and pray that the tiebreakers go his way.
And even if Closet Gix got answered in some way, E for 0. Oh, oops, I blew up on my stuff.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, I made a serious mistake.
You're so right.
Yep.
And if for some reason you can stifle the first E for 0, do it again.
Yep. All right, so end step, Surveil. Looking for a minor miracle on Jesse's side.
I think, yeah, you're right. Terminus is probably where we need to start.
All right, well, no miracle draw step there, just right to hand.
Yep.
All right.
This has been impressive. Andrew has played amazing Magic. You know, everyone thinks Affinity is easy style deck, player artifacts, attack. That's really not how this is. You need to sequence things correctly. You need to know how to sideboard with this deck, and you got to make sure you keep hands that do something.
Yeah, the 20 years Affinity's been around, and things haven't changed. Affinity was always a deck that was pretty easy to pick up and really, really hard to master.
Yes. And now, honestly, maybe it got a little easier. Arcbound Ravager stuff was actually pretty difficult. That kind of math was tough.
Super difficult. When you could just literally have any of your artifacts be a counter effect and go anywhere at any time.
Yeah.
The permutations are, I can't count that high.
Exactly. And there weren't too many Karn effects that stopped artifacts from working back then.
Yep. All right, so we see a bolt in hand for Jesse. We see that. I feel like that the flick of the card, where you hold your cards, you put your fingers on the top and bottom and kind of like bend them back and forth, is a sign of like, oh boy.
These cards aren't changing. I don't think I can do anything, and I think Jesse's about to do exactly his team's name and extend the handshake.
Yep. All right, draw step for Andrew. Andrew smelling blood in the water. Saga goes up. It has no Chapter 1. Love the little note there. So it does have Chapter 2, like you said. It can make constructs, but we're going to see a Chapter 3 on the Urza's Saga.
Looks like
going to 3.
Consigning everything. So double consign on Chapter 3, I assume, because Closet Gix is just so good. But, like, float a mana there. I don't know if he floated, though. Maybe it just doesn't matter.
All right, so
yeah, that Urza Saga can add mana. It doesn't have constructs, but it's still on Chapter 2.
And it will get claws next turn, in theory.
I mean, if there is a next turn. Because you're right with the EE line. That's what it's all about.
All right, no chapter 1, no chapter 2, no books here.
All right, we can just say we're going to read the cliff notes on this story, okay?
Yeah. You go online, get the cliff notes, jot them down, and then get over to your TV and watch some regional championship.
Yeah. It sounds like my high school literature style here. I'll check the cliff notes.
All right, lightning bolt going
to himself,
targeting Corey.
Yeah. So here is a gigantic, and boom!
There it is. Blow the magicians up. Andrew with an absolute showing here. Fantastically played game.
Yeah.
Really good stuff. Now, moving on to X and 2. Real good chance to make top 8.